I've made a comment on Mr. AronRa's YouTube video, and he was kind enough to come back to me, and I just want to thank him for that. This is the YouTube video that I'm referring to. On this YouTube video, I've placed the following link to this video of Dr. Jonathan Welsh. Now, Dr. Jonathan Welsh, what he has done is he has taken a living cell and he has poked it, and all the material leaked out. What was clear is, although all the material that previously supported life was inside of this test tube, it was unable to reassemble itself. This is the first comment that I've received from Mr. AronRa, and in this comment he said, abiogenesis is not a single step process, but a long sequence of unrelated processes. To explain a combination of unrelated events, I'm referring to the movie When Harry Met Sally. Now, in this movie, we've got this character Sally, and she would have a very specific way of ordering in a restaurant. Now, this is actually the same way in which writer Nora Ephron is ordering in a restaurant. Then we have now Sally constantly bumping into Harry, a man that she despises at that specific instance in time. This is the same thing as what is happening to this writer Nora Ephron, or this is what happened to her. Director Rob Reiner said, the fact that this movie is so successful is because it's based on a lot of real life facts. These are things that happens in real life to people, but it's unrelated events, and they have combined this into a movie to form one movie. Now, this does not mean there is really a Sally that met a Harry and had a long friendship and then afterwards became married. This is not true. This is a fictional story. And for the same reason, one cannot say that if you have a lot of unrelated events and you combine them, will form a fact of abiogenesis. So Mr. AronRa came back with the following statement. What I meant is evolution, like virtually every other scientific theory, is one or just a few directly related processes. But abiogenesis is not. Now, so what he is saying is over here, abiogenesis is not like virtually every other scientific theory. Why treat abiogenesis different from every other scientific theory? But my focus was not even on this. My focus was on this. We don't know all of it yet, of course. So let's place everything on the table. On the left-hand side, we have a person that admits that all the information required to prove abiogenesis is not available. And on the right-hand side, we have now a cell that doesn't even want to reassemble itself, when abiogenesis states that if you have all the material available, then a cell would assemble itself automatically. So Mr. AronRa is claiming to believe, although the evidence is in conflict with what he claims to believe. So I've made this comment. Believing without evidence is faith. That is an example why atheism is a religion. Now, this is not the first time when I've made a comment like that, and previously an atheist told me, if atheism is a religion, not collecting stamp is a hobby. And I've told him, if you constantly think about not collecting stamps, and you make videos on how to not collect stamps, then yes, you've made not collecting stamps a hobby. So one can understand why this book has been written and where does it come from. Also, you can see in the Bible it will refer to this. If someone was raised from the dead, they will still not be persuaded. So they will not believe. Now, if they have such strong faith, why can Christians not believe when there is evidence? Mr. AronRa's came back with this comment. Abiogenesis has not been disapproved. I have plenty of evidence for it. So now, considering the fact that I have showed him a cell that doesn't want to reassemble itself, he has to disprove this and prove basically the statement of abiogenesis that states that a living organism can be assembled or will automatically assemble itself out of non-living material. This specific part, where I stated a lipid has to combine to form a membrane. And not only that, he has to show me a video of an experiment showing that. And the reason why I want to see a video of an experiment is because this is now proof. This is evidence. This is similar to what I've provided him. I've provided him a video of an experiment. So how this works is we have these things that they call lipids, and we place these things in water, and the one side likes water and the other side dislikes water, and because of this it is said that these things will naturally connect to one another and assemble itself to form a membrane of a cell. Now this is very logical for me, and the thing is, at the end of the day, it makes sense, but what we need is proof. We have to see this happening, and then we can say why it's happening. We cannot say why it's happening before we haven't seen it. Mr. AronRa's came back with this question. And in this question, asked if I want to see the cell membrane forming automatically. And the answer to this is a big fat yes. Please do that. This is what I want. So this man exactly knows what I want. But then he continued to give me a lot of information about primates, dinosaurs, insects. A lot of information that is indirectly relevant to abiogenesis, but it's definitely not what I've asked for. He started speaking about abiogenesis as well. But the problem is, although he told me about the Urli-Miller experiment and how they have all these chemicals, and this is supposedly forming the very old versions of what is needed to support life and so on and so forth. He hasn't provided me with exactly what I've asked him, and he even acknowledged that he understands this question, but he hasn't given me the answer to this. If you look at what I've said, is a video of an experiment of how lipids combine to form a living membrane, and he has given me a lot of stories, but he hasn't showed me a video on how this happens. Now I came back with this comment, and the reason why I've made this comment is because even if you show me 1,000 things and there's 1,001 things that is needed, this system will not work. Now, an example of a system will be cells, organic cells, humans, computers, cars. All these things are examples of systems. So let's take the example of a bicycle. A bicycle is a system. Now let's say we remove the back wheel. We will see the whole bicycle is not functional even if I just remove the back wheel. Okay, but now, so the back wheel has to be there for this bicycle to function. If we remove the pedals, the whole bicycle will not be functional. Even if we have now the back wheel and everything except the pedals, the bicycle as a whole will not function. So we can also then remove the chain. You will see again the chain is needed. This part is required, otherwise the bicycle will not function at all. Let's replace we replace the frame. Now if we remove the frame, we actually remove everything, because everything is assembled onto this frame, so it will not even be considered a bicycle at this stage. So we can remove the fork, and again you will see that this whole bicycle will not be functioning because a single part has been removed. So everything has to be there for this bicycle to function. And this is not just applicable to bicycles, this is applicable to all types of systems. And if you want to read more on how systems works, you can go and read this book. And this book is not on organisms, this book is not on creationist theories. This book is actually a book on IT and how systems work. So what he came back is with this comment with a nice little link, and in this link is now this video of a cartoon. So now what we have is, on the one side, this is what he has provided me, a cartoon of a video of these lipids combining to form a cell membrane. I've showed him an experiment. So this is what we have at this stage. An experiment versus a cartoon. Now guys, I cannot say a video like the one that I've requested does not exist. Just like any atheist cannot say God does not exist. So what I've proposed is that Mr. AronRa go and find somebody that has seen this happening and just made a video of that and give it to us, and then obviously he has proved his point, and then I have to go with that it is possible for abiogenesis to form a cell out of just material. So he came back with this comment, and this comment basically states that he cannot provide me a video like the video that I've requested, and if given examples and reasons for that, like there will be an electron microscope needed for this, and an electron microscope cannot work in water, and so it is physically impossible to create a video like the video that I require from him. Okay, but now the thing is, I've provided him a video of something like this. Now this was the last comment from Mr. AronRa that I have received. Thank you for watching, and please subscribe to this channel.